What is the opposite? What's the gap in the market?
Yeah.
And here is the thing I found. In NLP books, everything goes right.
Yeah.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
Right.
They utter a few magic incantations.
But that's what I think I liked about your book so much. It was that your book talked about whatever could possibly happen, and it just seemed more real, than anything that I'd read in a long time about NLP.
Life isn't as perfect as I think people would like it to be. One of the things I like to tell people is that Buddha sat under that tree in South India for years meditating, getting to what became the noble truths of Buddhism. And after all those years of meditating, he came up with the first noble truth. And the first noble truth is life sucks. Okay, he said existence is suffering. But roughly that translates as life sucks. But we can punctuate this with moments of things going right, and moments of fun, moments of pleasure. And the more of those we build, the better life we have.
Fantastic.
But for so many people, life's tough. Life is not the easy ride that a lot of trainers themselves will try and portray it to be. And in workshops, in trainings,
and it's not helpful to portray it like that.
Well, here is one of the things that I've noticed a phenomenon that tends to occur. Practitioners go on courses, they get excellent training, they do the exercises, they work in groups, they work with lots of people, they do all different stuff, and they find these things work really well. And that's great, because it demonstrates a good way of learning, things work. But what they forget is, in the workshops, the people on the course know what to do because they're trainees. They then try and translate that to a private practice. And they run the patterns and the techniques. And then they phone me, go, Andy, I've tried this particular technique and it doesn't work.
It's different,
Because the client doesn't know the rules.
That's right.
They're doing what they do.
Yeah, the rules again. Exactly, and I love the way that you explain that to us. So, okay, so there's a neurolinguistic programmer's journal, The Rainbow Machine. Lots of books brewing. Tell us about your trainings. I know that I keep touching about this India thing because I think it's fantastic that you're going to India. I know that you're going to New York. You're going to be in India. You're all over the British Isles, pretty much. Aren't you? You're in Yorkshire and Leeds.
Mostly Leeds, Newcastle, and Liverpool are the areas, and increasingly now Tunbridge Wells.
And also you've got two practice groups. Let's talk about the English stuff and what you're doing.
Well, now the practice groups I have actually stopped. So they're no longer running.
Don't have time anymore.
Mostly down to time and commitment. My
you're
workload
very busy.
is.
You've got amazing things that you're doing.
What I say to people is, set up a practice group if you want to get experience.
I think so.
And especially if you want to start running workshops. A practice group gives great experience in getting those things set up. So my own practice groups now I've actually stopped. Just really for time commitments.
So briefly tell us about the types of trainings that you're doing, and then let's talk about integrated eye movement techniques.
Okay. There's two major threads to the trainings that I do. One is about therapy. And now I know a lot of NLPs don't like to talk in terms of therapy because somehow therapy is viewed as bad in some way. But a lot of NLPs are trying to be therapists in some description. So a lot of the workshops that they do are about aspects of therapy. What are particular patterns of problems that people present? So for example, coming up, I've got a workshop I'm doing on schizophrenia. What is schizophrenia? How does it work? How is it seen from an NLP perspective?
That's good for NLP, is learn more about schizophrenia.
I've got one on depression, one on anxiety. So I've got particular conditions that we work on. The therapeutic excellence and therapeutic mastery classes. What these are about are assuming the people have already got NLP training and whatever other training in the background. And how do they then translate that into being an effective therapist?
Fantastic.
And what these are the patterns of difference between experienced clinicians who get really good results and experienced clinicians who do the work but the results don't seem to be there.
Fantastic.
And yet they appear on the outside to be doing the same thing.
Now, is this NLP, or is it a combination of different techniques, or what is it?
None of it is teaching NLP. I leave that to people who are much better at it than I am. There's already an abundance of people out there who are exceptionally skilled, exceptionally talented NLP trainers.
But you're an insider. You're a registered nurse anyway. And so you know better than anybody that we can think of at the moment how to go about doing what you're setting out to do.
Right. So this is about, it's bridging the gap between the two. So those who aren't clinicians but are looking at going into that kind of work, that's what a lot of my work is about, the training is about. The other side of it is the integral eye movement therapy, or IEMT. IntegralEyeMovementTherapy.com.
Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Very, very, very exciting stuff.
This is what I think is a cornerstone of my change work. This is a key area of what I do. Now, there's lots of models of eye movements. We've got the NLP patterns, the 6 accessing points. We've got EMDR, which is a remedial tool for particularly for trauma. We've got eye movement integration, which is one of the NLP spin-offs. The integral eye movement therapy is more about a psychotherapy. 2 threads to it.
Right.
There's 2 threads within IEMT.
Yes.
Thread 1 is about emotional change. Addressing emotional imprinting.
Yes, very
How
exciting.
a person learned to feel what they're feeling. And re-imprinting that to be different. The second thread is about identity. How does the person know to be the way they're being? So they don't wake up in the morning and have a different identity. They wake up in the morning and they're clearly the same person they were the previous day.